Check. Good evening. Good evening. Of the room and the middle side of the room. All right, this is kind of like a dream of mine. And since we got the crowd set up like this, let's do this. Okay. Now, who's most excited about Choose 180 here? All right, we're gonna play this up a little bit. We're gonna start with the right side of the room. Right side of the room. It sounded like the left side was really excited because they got excited before everybody else. But if the right side of the room was really excited about Choose 180 tonight, let me hear you make some noise. That's good. That's really good, actually. I wish I had like the sound meter like at the Mariner game so I could like really coax you. All right, y'all heard that left side of the room. You heard what they did, but y'all started this, so y'all better come better. So left side of the room, what you got? Now, yes to the last woo over there. But now I have a hidden like group of people in the space that really know how to make some noise. The Seahawks Coalition is up in here, and if they can't make noise, nobody else. It's not time yet. Okay? Y'all early, right? That's a false start. Okay? You see what I did there? Russell Wilson's not here anymore. We don't have those. Ooh. Let's ride. Go Hawks. All right, so the middle of the room. Are you excited to be here tonight? That was a little apathetic compared to the others, but I'm glad that you're here. There will be more alcohol later, and the test will continue. With that, we are going to start our evening program. It's going to lead in with the video. The next voices you will hear will be Boomer and Natalie. And yes, we have Boomer's family here. Boomer's wife is really excited. Boomer's son's really embarrassed. He's like, why, Mom? Yeah, it's okay. I get it. Thank you so much for coming to our 6th evening of choice. If y'all go scream at everything I say, like this is gonna be a much longer program than it's supposed to be, y'all. We'll keep this short on purpose so we can get back to socializing, eating, and drinking. So we're gonna enter into the program. Thank you for being here. I'm grateful, I'm honored. It feels like a reunion of sorts and also a welcoming to new faces. It's a gift to be able to be in physical space with all of you. Thank you so much for continuing to Choose 180. Here's the video, and the next voices you'll hear will be Boomer and Natalie. Thank you all.
I choose healing because I want to stop generational curses.
I choose healing so my future won't carry past pain.
I choose healing because healing allows us to share and enjoy those experiences of freedom and love in our lives.
I choose healing as an act of liberation.
I choose healing because I've seen it in action.
I choose healing because I want to be a better ally.
I choose healing because what am I to myself or others if I still have an open wound?
I choose healing because it's a gateway to growth.
At Choose 180, we believe in the power of healing. Our world is full of challenges and struggles. In the last couple of years, through a pandemic, publicized police violence, isolation, and division have only made things feel heavier. For young people, add on the pressures of remote learning, social media, and in some cases, less access to resources than ever. We've been in survival mode. How do we get to a place where we're at peace, where we can take care of others in communities, and where we can transform the problematic systems that cause harm? We can choose to heal. Part of healing is supporting our mental health. Everyone should have access to mental health support. When we realized that too many young people were facing barriers to accessing these critical services, your support helped us launch a counseling program of our own. Now participants from any of our programs can access free, quality support from in-house therapists. Youth and young people are supported through individual counseling sessions, strength-building support groups, and short-term mental health consultations. We've been able to address trauma, build coping skills, provide an outlet to connect young people with community, to strengthen individuals' awareness of needs, and to advocate for self-care and self-worth. Our counseling staff is a trauma-informed and relational, and we work from a strength-based and anti-oppression lens, focusing on care that is individualized because every person's story is important. To complement this effort, we launched our Expressive Arts Therapy program this year. Young people now have the opportunity to process and express what they're going through in different creative ways. Healing and confronting trauma by using the expressive arts is a process that engages people's senses and emotions and leads to the development and growth. This allows them to use verbal and nonverbal forms of expression to creatively connect the body and mind actively or visually, whether they take place at home or in a park, one-on-one or in a group. These sessions support participants where they are. These two counseling programs work in tandem with our Choose Freedom program, which consists of healing circles for young people whose lives have been impacted by violence. We know that healing from within is critical to prevent spreading of the disease of violence. Our team, which is made up of community members with lived experience, leads the groups through our curriculum from accountability to goal setting to the ultimate objective, healing. By coming together in a group, they can support each other through challenging situations, learn from each other, and build positive relationships. Through these and our other intentional programs, we're supporting young people in their healing journeys. Through healing, we strengthen relationships, which leads to strong communities, which then builds momentum as we journey towards justice. We have the power in numbers, and when we work toward a common goal, support each other, and tell stories of our pain, turn to joy, and our struggle becoming strength, the possibilities are endless. Together, we can heal towards justice.
How's everybody doing tonight? I'm glad that you guys are here with us as we heal towards justice. My name is Boomer. I'm a community navigator for Choose Freedom for Choose 180, and this is my lovely host.
Yeah, hi everybody. It's so great to be with you here tonight. Everyone looks lovely, and I know the people behind the camera that are watching us virtually are looking lovely as well. So welcome tonight. I'm Natalie. I'm on the board of Choose 180, and it's so great to be here in person at this evening. So give it up to yourself for being here. So to kick things off, I want to ask Boomer, why do you choose healing?
Man, I thought about this question for a while, and I didn't come up with an answer till now. The reason why I choose healing is so I can be trusted, so I can be loved, so I can love, so I can help others that's been through the same similar things that I've been through. And healing for me was hard because I didn't start healing until I was a part of Choose 180. And I started healing in groups, talking to youths and listening to my kids tell me their stories about me, which affected me to the point where I'm glad that I'm here now, because I never thought that I would be in the position to help nobody for all the harm that I did to the streets. So it really feels good that I'm here and being able to patch up some of the stuff that I did in the streets, and that's why I choose to heal. What about you, Natalie? Why do you choose to heal?
Oh, thank you, Boomer. Give it up for him.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, I choose healing because I feel like healing is closer to the solution. When we grow and when we heal, problems tend to fade and positive situations and occurrences happen. We need healing to be the center of our Revolution organization. So I think that we all need to heal together. We can't do it alone. And if we heal together, we can come to greater solutions. Now, I want to invite Sean to recognize some community members and partners that we have that have been a part of our healing journey within this Choose 180 evening.
And let's give it up for Sean.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you, Boomer. Before we get into the awards, I'd like to take a moment to pause and hold the memory of one of our founders who recently passed away, Alan Belton. At our early Choose 180 workshops, Alan Belton was known as the pastor of love. And for those folks that had seen our workshops in person know that we'd have all these young people together in a common space. And Alan would go one by one and look at every individual in the eye and tell them that he loved them. He loved them, he loved them. And for some of the young people in that space, that was the first time they heard those words from a man with that type of sincerity. Alan was a transformative force for our community, not just in our cause. And as much of a hole that's left in his passing and transition, there are many more of us that are bearing the strength that he put upon us and put within us to carry forth the great work that's happening today. So I'd like to hold a moment of silence in remembrance of Alan Belton. Thank you. In 2011, our organization began our work in partnership with the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office. The prosecutor-elect Dan Satterberg reached out to community leader Doug Wheeler and expressed that he was failing Black and brown children. And as a result, they co-created what at that time was called the 180 program, which has evolved to become Choose 180 today. To hold that memory of partnership, we created an award several years ago called the Founders Award, where we acknowledge a community partner who has co-labored with us with great intention to help us create a more just world. Several years ago, the Seattle Seahawks reached out and asked how we could begin to be in partnership with one another. We do partnership a little bit different at Choose 180, and I expressed to them if we were going to do this, my bride, forgive me, I'm gonna say it the way I said it, and I can't help myself. I told them that we don't do booty calls. And essentially what I was expressing to them was that if we're going to be in relationship with each other, it needs to be an authentic relationship. Not that you're going to give a gift today and then run away tomorrow, but we're going to be into this thing together with a deep commitment. And because of that, they said yes. And they said yes to the dress, and we've been journeying together, one satisfied date after the next. And it's become quite the relationship. And because of that relationship, not only have we co-produced a documentary that highlights the incredible collaborative work that is Restorative Community Pathways, that is transforming justice in our community as we know it today, we've continued to find other ways to play together and journey together to advance this cause and this collective effort of transforming systems that cause harm. So with that, on this evening, we'd like to offer our Founders Award to our partners, the Seattle Seahawks, and would love it if one or a couple of y'all would come down from your very high perch, which is where a hawk would perch at, to receive the award on this evening. Put your hands together for the Seattle Seahawks. We should have, with the time that they're taking, maybe it should have been a slow clap. Karen, what do we draw? There we go, yes! Allison, did you start that? I think you started that. Look at you. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Karen.
Sean,
Well, let me just say a couple things.
Mike's gonna
Mike, please.
say a few things for us.
Thank you.
Self-care and self-worth. You guys, it's a beautiful thing that you're doing, and we're so proud to partner with you and the whole team here. It's one of the great joys we have to see success and to see you heal people. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks.
Thank you, Karen.
you.
And I want you to know we have a team here. Everybody here is part of this effort that we have with Choose 180 and with so many other causes. So I want to salute them too. So thank you.
And for those of you that don't know, that's Mike Flood. Mike Flood has been serving the community for decades in this capacity of making sure the Seahawks have deep connections and relationships in the most impacted spaces. I think it would be remiss if we didn't give Mike Flood himself for his service another round of applause. The second award that we have to offer this evening is in remembrance of our dear friend Vaughn Montenegro. Vaughn and I first began journeying together when we worked for the YMCA of Greater Seattle. And when I had the privilege to take over stewardship of Choose 180, he was one of the first people I reached out to invite him to be a part of our cause in creating a more just world. It was a hard yes to get him there, but once he did, he came and he served with deep passion and deep commitment and was an absolute agent of change. Vaughn had a unique ability to engage young people where they were at, connect with them at a place that many people simply can't reach, with the deep empathy and understanding of human nature that allowed him to transform lives in significant ways. Several years ago, Vaughn passed away from colon cancer. And although he is no longer with us in body, he has been with us in spirit as we continue to grow and advance the collective effort that is Choose 180. So, as we're back in person, we wanted to take this time to present an award to another community leader who embodies that which Vaughn is able to do with such deep commitment and passion for the collective us. On this evening, I'd like to bring up Kamal Comey to the front. Where you at, my friend? Oh, come on, Comey. I want to talk a little bit about Comey for a second, which is going to be really difficult for them to deal with. In our current political climate, in the midst of a prosecutor race that's being hotly debated, unfortunately, our young people have become the scapegoat in political platitudes. And politicians have been exercising this freedom of speech to drag programming that's really transforming our community for the better, an effort to prop up old school dog whistles around tough on crime and this need to imprison and jail people in order for us to have safer communities. It's imperative that we not dive into a conversation about politics tonight, but really embrace the real solutions that are happening day in and day out. I said this to Chase earlier this evening, who's one of the people who serves in this work of restorative community pathways. It is one thing to do programming that's proven to be successful and be affirmed for that. It's another thing to do programming that's transforming lives and communities and be critiqued for it from every angle. Kamal's ability to lead this work forward, to galvanize community around it, to build up an army of people who are serving young folks in community, not just those who have been accused of causing harm, but also those who have been harmed, and press forward in spite of all the persecution that comes against them, in itself makes them stand alone in a crowd of many. I've been able to watch them journey, I've been able to watch them grow, and I'm honored to give you this award tonight because you truly embody all that I know Vaughn to be, and I'm honored to be able to labor alongside you.
Thank you, Sean, and thank you for what I'm understanding, some folks who nominated me, like Chase and Henny, who's not here, and Isha and others. I do feel like you give me a lot of credit. This work is deeply based on what we do in our spaces, with the youth and community members and the folks who taught me, who supported me, the folks who do this work every day. Restorative Community Pathways has so many folks who are directly supporting youth on a daily basis, on a nightly basis, 24/7. And this is done because of the community labor and community effort that is years of organizing on the streets, years of organizing against criminalization, organizing for abolition and for community healing. Because we know that the police, we know that the jails, we know that our prosecution system does not provide us safety. It does not provide us well-being. It does not provide us with connection and care and the supports we need to keep each other safe and be accountable for when harm happens. It is each other. And that is what I care about and support. And I am thankful to be a part of such a huge community that does that and also fosters and supports me in doing that. So I deeply appreciate you giving this to me as an individual, but it is us collectively. So many people who are in this space, like Carissa, like different organizers in this room that do this work, like Jasmine, like Dee right there, smiling, like Chase, that make this work possible. So I call this a collective award. Thank you.
Thank you, Colleen. With that, I'd like to introduce two more change makers in our community up to the stage to share some of the work that they're beginning to do through Choose 180. The first voice you'll hear is Daisha Mestis, who I often refer to as Daisha Mestis the Bestest, and Darrell Green. Daisha?
Hello, everyone. My name is Daisha Mestis. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a Latina woman from the New Mexican desert. Today is actually my 8th year anniversary of being here in Washington, so it's really cool to be celebrated in this way. I've been working with Choose 180 for the past 4 years as an intern, the first ever workshop coordinator, and now I'm a mental health counselor that uses expressive arts therapy. So, I've always had a deep love for art, and without realizing it or putting a name to it, I've used journaling and music and paint to work through painful moments in my life. I was incarcerated and sent to a boot camp out of state whenever I was a teenager, so these actions that were taken against me and others did more harm than good, and this influenced my decision to become a social worker. So I went to, yeah, just here for everything I say, okay? And then so I went to school for social work, and we had a brief description about the expressive arts, and I fell in love with the idea of using art as healing. So I started to do this. I applied to this expressive art training program here in Seattle, and then when I started doing my coursework, I just saw a really beautiful connection between healing oneself and the creative process. So why I choose healing through the expressive arts is because it opens up intuitive rediscovering of ourselves that is really unique to this process. And expressive art therapy is not about creating something that needs to be perfect or displayed anywhere. It's more about what the process of creating something and what that does for you. We call that act the creative process. And this could be about how your body feels after you put movement to a poem or an image, or it could be about dimensions added to expression after you journal or write them down. The arts allow us to hold hard to explain emotions and turn them into something that is visually and creatively less intimidating and easier to explain and understand. In June of this year, Choose 180 added the expressive arts modality to our counseling program, and both myself and our other mental health counselor, Jana, use a person-centered approach type of therapy that is centered around identifying healthy and useful healing techniques. Our counseling services are available free of charge to any person that's associated with Choose 180, and this is great because our participants don't have to pay out of pocket or go through their insurance to come see us. We offer care primarily virtually through a telehealth platform, and we're starting to see participants one-on-one now. Right now, we're currently working in the Highline and Seattle school districts. We offer counseling on campus, so we're able to go to their school and take them out of class and see them if they would like to see us. We're expanding to add counseling to our Choose Freedom participants at the Juvenile Detention Center at Echo Clint. We're entering our 8th month of weekly virtual group counseling sessions. These are groups centered around centering a youth-led space where participants are actively leading conversations and creating positive connections with each other. A participant has been kind enough to provide feedback that they said I could share with all of you, and this is what they said. I just want to say group lets me be me. I could be myself and speak the truth and not get judged. I can talk about my conspiracy theories and laugh with the girls. I appreciate everything you guys do for us. Some of the best moments I've got to witness so far is being able to give participants free art supplies. Thanks to donors and all of you, we're able to drop off canvases and journals and paints and markers like to any person that is involved in our program. When receiving these items, they are curious and excited, and they're just so pumped. They're so grateful. In one-on-one sessions and at tabling events, I've been able to set out like art supplies, and I see this rush of eagerness and joy come from like every person that gets to touch it and like play with it, and like it's really cool to see. I just wanted to thank all of you that have supported us and watched us grow and be able to get to this point where we're at today. It's been a dream of mine to be able to bring this type of therapy to this work, and it's really great to see. And thank you all, and it's so awesome. So I'm going to introduce my coworker, Darrell, and I just want to say he's so brilliant and so kind, and he's so awesome, and here he is.
I gotta snatch this joint off. You know, seeing Vaughn up on that screen, yeah, the homie. See, Vaughn, he was your first call. I guess I was like the third. You know, I was just a volunteer. You know, I was a guy coming from Bremerton, you know, born in Tacoma with big aspirations and just wanted to give back to my community. And I thought I was like this big thing right over in Bremerton doing it. And so you don't know if you're in this little fishbowl and that makes you seem big. So I had to jump in the ocean. And the ocean was Seattle. And of all people, and this will go and show you how we really partner to transform systems, a prosecutor brought me to the Choose 180 office. I wasn't in trouble or nothing. I just signed up to be a volunteer and you know, due to, you know, Sean being dope and people like you in this room, some funds got together and I got to be that third phone call. And I've been rocking with the cause ever since then. And the thing that I love about Choose 180, just how Deja just got done speaking, like our passions, our whole selves, we're allowed to bring that into our workspace and how we serve our young people, how we partner. Like Sean said, we're strategic about how we partner. That's to be authentic. We show up with our full selves. And I've always appreciated that I'm allowed to do that, even if I might, you know, take it and run a little bit far, go off script. I'm allowed to do that. And what happened, I found myself in a role at Choose 180. And I felt like I wasn't serving my community. Like, we was partnering so tough. I was like, man, I feel like I'm starting to be a part of that system that's hurting where I came from, that's hurting the community. And I didn't like it. I gotta wake up in the morning and look at myself and like me. I don't know how y'all is, but that's important to me. I need to respect the man in the mirror because I once did not. I remember being in the hole at Walla Walla when I was 18 years old and looking in this messed up steel little mirror right here on the wall, and I didn't like who was looking back at me. So that's important to me, integrity. And I said, Sean, I ain't gonna be able to do this like this no more. D, what you wanna do? Because, you know, he didn't want me to quit at the time. I don't know out now, but back then, he didn't want me to quit. And I said something I never thought I would say. I said, Sean, I want to go to jail. Not like that, but get me into prison. Because I remember you know, when we didn't talk how we talk nowadays. You know, with restorative practices and school to prison pipeline and empathy and your brain development until you're 25. That didn't exist in our generation. We was just super predators and lock them up. And so, like, I said, I want to go back there. That's where my passion is. I want to meet them while they're on the inside. Now, while this was happening, things were happening in King County. And I don't know if y'all heard, if you've seen the news, or if you know somebody, you met somebody, you've been around somebody. The shootings have been ridiculous. We're losing our kids. They're dying. They're going to jail. So even though I set out to write like the best reentry program of all time, I had to take into consideration other things were happening. I'm going into the jails, and some of people's reentry plan is I got to get a gun as soon as I get out, because they see what's happening on the outside, and they know that that's what they're actually reentering into. They're not reentering to the job market. They're reentering into mass amount of historical gun violence, and they're scared to get out of prison. That sounds crazy. You should be glad to get out of prison. Young people are scared to get out of prison. Like, I might die as soon as I get out. And that fear is justified. That's where our Choose Freedom program was birthed from. We provide a space where we can heal. That's the theme of the day, I believe, where we can heal. Young people usually don't get places to process these things. And not only do we provide that space, it's not about creating a program, the Choose Freedom program. Yeah, that's fine. What we're trying to do is create a culture, cultivate a culture. Just like there's a gang culture, there's a culture where it's okay to kill. There's a culture where we're creating a different culture. We're providing that space. We're planting the seeds. And guess what? The young people are being a part of it with us. We're not just coming to them with the answer. We're building it from the ground up with us. And that's the only way that we're going to be able to sustain the change that we want to see. That's what Choose Freedom is. We want to meet them while they're inside. We want to walk with them. And I'm going to meet you when you're on the other side of that gate. And then I'm going to keep walking with you. A lot of times programs, especially nonprofits, we don't get funded correctly because they want you to work with someone 6 months, exit them out the program, boom, they're good. That isn't real. That's not the program. That's not what we do when we go into jails, is it? Boom. That's not how we serve. We can come as people that came from that, are going back to it, and we're just here to help make the answers with you. Walking beside our youth. I'm going way too far. But we're in Echo Glen. We're in the county. And we're here with them on the other side of the fence where it counts. We do groups with our young people where it's just we call it a gun violence prevention group, but in real life, it's like a big therapy session, you know? And it's like, hey, I just got shot last week. I got shot at last week. My best friend just got killed. And we're all coming from different aspects of the gun violence that's taking place, and we're just processing with each other, and it's so powerful. And, you know, I appreciate just being able to serve in that capacity. Thank you for everyone in this room. Nobody's giving me the 5-minute thing, but in my other job, I'm a preacher, so I'm long-winded. Thank y'all.
How you guys, man? Hey, before she gets back in this side, I just want to say one thing, man, is that I watched Darrell grow. Like a lot of people don't know that me and Darrell grew up together. And to see him change is like amazing, man. Like I get emotional when I hear him talk because we've been through a lot together. And I hate doing this, but it's fine. But being a part of Choose Freedom, like he was saying, we get to go inside of jails, talk to the youth, and share our story. And some people's story is different than others, and some people have stories that connect with children, and I get a lot of connection with them because I've been through a lot. And I never get to talk about my story and stuff like that. When I do get to talk to it, I get emotional because I can't believe that I made it out of that stuff. And one thing that sticks to me, one day we're in the office, I was talking to Sean, I was like, man, I used to be bad, man. Like, man, I was bad. He's like, bro, no, you wasn't. I'm like, yes, I was, man. I was the baddest there was. He's like, nah, man, you got to stop using bad, man, because, you know what I'm saying, you were wounded. You were, like, part of what's going on, and you need to heal. And I'm like, man, you know, and I still, like, to my son, I'd be like, man, you're being bad, and that's something that you don't want to put in nobody's head. You know, because when I was growing up, that's all I heard was the bad stuff, the bad stuff, the bad stuff. When I did something good, it wasn't even matter. And I don't want to get too much, but that's all I had to say. And thank you guys for coming, and I really appreciate it. Nelly.
Yeah. Give it up to them. I just love this. Well, we encourage you all to be a part of this healing journey with all of us. So we have a whole healing space in the other room. We have stickers to where you can share your reason for healing on our Choose 180 banner. And also we have an art with Danica at the end, so we will be able to engage in some art forms. So that'll be a nice form of transitioning to healing together.
And part of healing is self-care. A lot of us that do this work, we don't get enough self-care. And when I got into this job, I thought I wasn't doing enough. Ooh, what am I doing? What do you say doing and start feedbacking? Closer?
Yeah.
All right. So when I got into the work, I thought, like, man, I don't, like, usually my jobs, you don't get to take no time off self-care. Man, get your butt to work, man. You got to do what you got to do. So when they be telling me do some self-care, I'm like, man, what y'all talking about? Like, man, I get to just go home and it's cool? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I love this job. It's like, man, it's amazing. Sometimes I wake up and I'm just like, just happy to be going to work. And I haven't did that my whole life working. I had a lot of jobs, and this job makes me feel good to get up. And it's not like a job to me, you know what I mean? It's a way of living. It's like a way that makes me feel good about being able to help somebody else that's in a similar situation that I were. Because I've been locked up since I was 11. And I didn't have nobody to talk to. So when I go and talk to somebody, it makes me feel good because I get a lot of, oh, man, I ain't changing, you know, and then they get by themselves, hey, Boomer, man, what you told me, man, I really want to change. So tell somebody, because once you tell somebody, they going to tell somebody, and then everybody's going to want to heal, and then, you know, it'll help everybody out. But part of self-healing is self-care. So tonight, with them tickets that you guys are giving, they're giving away a private yacht cruise with 7 people. Hopefully I win, you know, I need the self-care. Like, yeah, I want to kick it, so, you know. Hey, and if somebody close to me wins, man, you know, let me be one of the 7. I got you, man. JJ, Travis, you know what I'm saying? Cortez, where you at? Where you at? Nah, Darrell, you know what I'm saying? Shy, you feel me? No. But, so tomorrow, you guys, if you guys follow I Choose 180, tomorrow at noon, we will be announcing who wins that, and then we'll go from there.
Love it. Well, I hope you are inspired by everything that we've given to you tonight, from the films, from Boomer, from all of the talks that we've had, from Sean's dad jokes constantly giving us joy. But we made it easier for you to help support the youth and support our program even further. So on the back of your badges, there is a QR code. So it makes it easier for you to be able to give your time, talent, our treasures, and support by just scanning over to the top and being able to click into there and get to our website and donate. And the folks virtually online, you're already online, so you can get onto the website and follow us and support that way as well.
And thanks to the generous contribution from Amazon, donations for Even the Choice will be matched up to $25,000 total. And like church, we got the offerings being passed around, you know, so we want to, no, I'm joking. So we're gonna have cards being, you know, pass the offerings, somebody got the offerings. I see you over there, pass the offerings, pass the offerings. No, you know how they do in church though. But we also have donation cards being passed around if you want to skip the technical stuff.
Well, and that ends our session, but thank you all for being here tonight. We have photo booths over here. We have a 360 photo booth over there. We still have more food, drink, music. We're about to clear out all these chairs so y'all can partay. And everybody virtually, we hope to see you soon in person. And thank you for tuning in. And we hope to engage with you all in community and continue this thing on towards the future.
Thank you, guys. Hey, you guys have a wonderful, blessed rest of the day.
What?